Good morning. So this is my second morning walk this morning as I got up a little bit late. And I want to tell a little bit about the meeting that I had yesterday with my twin flame. So I'll start it with the conversation I was just having with my friend that I met on the one that's on this journey for probably already like 17 years. And she wrote and she messaged to me in a voice message. We voice message each other back and forth. That the switch that I did was really quick. The switch from what my mother said and that she doesn't get it to the switch that I made that, okay, I'm opening up opportunities and options for a soulmate. And it really does feel, and she said it was like a really quick switch, like instant. And I also feel like that. I feel like inside of me something just switched. It really is a switch. And it happened while I was sitting on that conversation on Friday with my twin. Um, it happened really quick because I realized, first of all, it's been like a year since we've started this whole running thing, and I'm pretty sick of it. Yeah, I'm sick what do I mean by sick of it? It's like it got old, and I'm ready for a new phase in it. And I realize that it's like pushing up against a wall, and there's nowhere to go from there, and it's tiring and frustrating. And then there's something that just kind of went, let go, because I could see that obviously from here, from where we stand, there was that in that course of action there is nothing. And then that question that he asked me, like, would I be willing to give up the attraction to keep the relationship? And at first I said no, but I think that I wasn't 100% registering the question as he was asking it. I think I'm going to sit right there on that, right here, and just talk. So I think that I wasn't completely registering the question that he was asking me, because even before that, in the videos before that, and before that, I was already thinking that, I want him in my life. And even if it means that it's not a romantic relationship, I still want him in my life because he just adds so much flavor to my life. He's so funny and he's so cute and he's so smart. And the way that he thinks, it really adds value to my life. And I think that in that way, it was kind of like, oh, I get to keep him as my funky friend. And it's even more of a promise. It's more of, um, like even I was married for 17 years, or I was married for 20 years, but after 17 years, I left him and then we got a divorce. It was like three years later. So totally on paper, it was about 20 years. And those things end. But friendship is like a choice. Friendship is somebody that you want in your life because of who they are and what they bring, and you just enjoy watching them. I enjoy watching him and the way that his mind works and the way that he sees me. He is so far. So anyway, so yesterday was my daughter's birthday. And so I had a really fun day yesterday. I went into town in the morning, and then I went and met her and her friend and picked them up, and we went and had coffee. They were on a hike. And so I went and picked them up from the end of the hike. And we went and we had coffee at this really cool place in Cajal, overlooking the Sea of Galilee. And Lola and Rexy took off running. And then I brought them back, and I got home. And when I was just leaving the house to go on a hike, like the evening hike, an afternoon hike, he called me right when I was sitting in the car if I wanted to come over. So, of course, I went over. And we had a blast. I was there. I got home like at a few minutes to midnight last night. But we had a blast. It was so funny. We sat on his balcony and just laughed and laughed and laughed. And it's amazing how it's like when we're together, time stands still. And it's like we're in this bubble. That we go into this bubble. He is in my brain. I'm in his brain too, but he is in my brain, like way in my brain. He knows exactly how to make me laugh. And I was just laughing and laughing and laughing. I think that he knows exactly how to tune into me. And like he'll say that the littlest things that just get me rolling. And we have it recorded. But besides that, it's also like everything is divinely guided. Um, he brought out some things, some old things, some writings of his, and he brought out this book to show me about alchemy. And inside of the alchemy book, we opened it to a certain page and we said, okay, let's see what kind of message we're going to get here. And the message that we got, it was talking about, mystical. It was talking about, see, in my mind, it was talking at so many different levels that I don't remember exactly on the 3D what it was talking about, but it was talking about Hermes, uh, the god, and what kind of energy it is, and what exactly it is, and the messages. And it's all the same. It's Mercury, Hermes, Metatron, Malchizedek, Enoch. Those are all, it's all the same energy, and it's all the same energy of Virgo, which I'm a Virgo, he's a Virgo. It's the same. And they were talking, and it was talking about the different like star signs, the different star signs, but it was talking about it from before, like from ancient Egypt, before even. I don't feel like I am explaining it well enough. I don't feel like I know well enough, but I understood the messages that were coming through, and the messages that were coming through were unbelievable. And it was unbelievable that when we opened the book, it opened it right to that page that was giving us the exact message that we need on our path. Both of us, it was speaking volumes to us. And there were so many signs to read that page, the number of the page, the what it was talking about. There were so many signs in there, and so many things that we were saying a few minutes before, and then all of a sudden they were showing up in that. And also his writings, the writings that he pulled out. The first thing on top was this letter that he wrote, and it's a letter that he wrote to somebody when he was younger. But it was a dramatic. It was a traumatic event in his life that in the past year keeps on coming up and keeps on coming up, and it's making him stronger because every time it comes up, he sees a new part of it. It becomes easier for him to cope with. It becomes, you become like numb to it, the emotions of it. It can come up and it comes up and it comes up, and every time it comes up, you get to remember it, and the pain is less. The pain is less. It's kind of like I feel on this twin flame journey, like him talking about not being attracted to me and dating other women. The first time it comes up, it's like a knife. And then the more I roll it around in my mind, and the more I decide, it's really like a switch. It's a decision. It's a decision that the more I decide that, okay, that doesn't have to be a part, we can just be friends, the less and less it moves me when it comes up. And so it still moves me a little bit. I can still feel the tinge, but at the same time, it's like I understand completely that if there is pain, the pain is mine. The pain is because I put expectations on something that isn't, and that if it's not going to be, this is something that is beyond my complete control. He has control over his own being, and if he doesn't feel attraction, then there's nothing I can do to make him feel it, and I understand that because I've been on the opposite side of it. I get it. And so either I can choose to continue to fight against the circumstances and feel pain and oh no and look for all the things that he's going to say that will might give me some kind of hope, or I can decide that regardless if I believe him or not, like I already said, um that I just turn a switch off of there and decide that I don't want any pain in that place, and decide that I get to have him in my life anyway and that we're such good friends. We're such good friends. I really see the value of my friendship in his life. I see him. I see all his little twisties. I see all his little jokes. I was telling him yesterday that I can completely see his genius. I completely see his genius. I see it and I can appreciate it. And his genius is so genius that, to be that genius, you have to have people in your life that are able to recognize your genius because, it's so far out there and up there that I think that a lot of his genius, and I see that a lot of his genius isn't recognized by others. Like when we go places together and he'll say something that is just completely off the wall, genius, hilarious. And it just cracks me up because I get it. I get what he's saying. And he's saying it with like a straight face. And I see that nobody else gets it. It's so hilarious. He's so funny. He's so funny. And he's in my brain. He is in my brain, inside of my freaking brain. A lot of times I say it feels like I'm not alone in my brain. One time I told him, I feel like I'm not alone in my brain. And he said, I'll never use it against you. So he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. And also that with the emotions, it's just, like a lot of things, like yesterday we were both cracking up. His mother called and I don't remember what it was, but we both just started cracking up. We both got it, but there was no words to it. Like there was this situation that was just hilarious and we didn't even need words for it. We both just started rolling. It was so funny. And if you asked me to explain what we were laughing about, I don't know that I would be able to explain it even, but we both got it. And it's so funny because we have like this similar sense of humor. And I think that that's a value, if you have somebody next to you that can see you and appreciate you. And I even told him that I can see his genius and I appreciate his genius. I really do. It's so funny. And that's value, having a friend that can see you and really recognize your genius and will be there with you, even if you're not in a sexual or that kind of relationship. And it seems like ever since this new letting go, and I said, I'm open. I'm open for opportunity. And I understand how that works. So it's not like I'm out and I'm on the dating sites and I'm trying to find me and get me some or anything like that. It doesn't it's not it doesn't have to be in comparison or in any way well, it kind of does, but not really have anything to do with my relationship for him. It's not like he said that and now I need to run out and find me something, just so that I don't feel alone or don't feel like, I can feel like I'm worth something or something like that. It's not like that. It's just knowing that that I'm open up to the opportunity and it actually, I kind of feel like this lifting in me, like I'm open. If something comes along, I will be able to recognize it. I don't need to try to stuff attraction onto somebody that start looking for attraction. When you feel attraction, you know it. The people that I've been attracted to, I was attracted to them as soon as I met them. I know that, or had some kind of pull to them, or some kind of draw to them, or they looked interesting to me, or something. So I don't need to go out and search. All of the way that I see it is that that as long as I am in my life and I'm true to me in my life and in the places that I like to be and doing the things that I enjoy to do, then I will meet a person that is the same. I will meet a person that is also doing things that I like to do. That's where I'll meet the person. I don't need to go online or go to places, go out to pubs or things like that I don't usually go to find somebody to, somebody's hanging out in those kinds of places that doesn't suit me. I'm not saying that pubs don't suit me. I mean, I like going to, especially if there's like live concert. But I'm saying that I don't need to go out of my way to try to meet somebody. When I meet somebody that I'm attracted to, I will know it, and it's more likely that I'll meet somebody that is in my own realm and somebody that is more like me in places that I like going, because we'll be in the same places, and that already is a big plus. You're already meeting somebody that's in your same circle, so and likes to do the things that you like to do if you meet them in places that you like to go. So that's just like an obvious to me. So it's kind of like a taking things easy. And ever since this whole let go thing, it seems like the meetings between us are so much more let go. It's just like, yeah, okay, it's all hanging out, dude. And it's so much more easy. Like there's nothing that I'm trying to prove. He already knows who I am. He's inside of my brain. Dude's lives inside of my brain. He knows exactly what I feel. He knows exactly what I think. And I'm saying this, and I know that yeah, he is. He is. So I think that me saying something like that, I think that some people that are close to me wouldn't like to hear that. They think that I'm like being controlled, but he's in my brain, but I'm also in his brain. I see how his brain works. It's very complex. It's very like but I'm still enjoying. I'm still learning about him, but I can see that it's every time it's something completely off the wall and unsuspect, like something I could have never expected. Like, and it seems like the more and more that I let go and trust that everything is going to be, like it's going to be, and I just follow my nose and follow what I feel, then the more the more even we come together as friends, as like yesterday, we had the coolest meeting. It was hours, and we were just sitting there cracking up and laughing. It was so funny. He's so funny. He's so funny. He's so funny. He sends me on roller coasters. And because he's so far in my mind, and that because I can feel his emotions, he can take me on this ride. He can tell me a story and just take me on an emotional ride with him. I can feel everything that he felt. Or he'll tell me a childhood story and he'll be like, and he'll put the emotion into it. And then I feel exactly what it felt like to be in that situation, or even situations that I haven't been in. He allows me to explore the emotions through him. That telepathic communication that we have between us is uncanny. It is like, and towards the end, I said, I looked at him. I said, "What is this? What is this thing that there's between us? Like, what is this? Where did this come from?" It's like I'm still in awe. I'm still like in it's 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 surreal. It's uh it's mystical. There's no time. There's no sense of time. it feels like the most natural connection in the whole world, just sitting right next to him. And then he tells me stories. Like I can't think of he tells me stories. And you know what else? He tells me stories on and let me finish this. He tells me stories on different levels. So he'll tell me a story about one thing, but he will be telling me a completely different story on the other levels. And he tells me stories that are just private enough to where I can't share them because either there's somebody else involved or it's too personal of a story or or there's always some kind of reason that if I'm talking about it, that there's some kind of reason that I can't all the way tell the story because there's something private in there. And I feel like he does it on purpose because then when I'm talking like on these videos, see everything I feel with him, I feel like he knows exactly what I'm doing all the time, even if he's acting like nonchalant or whatever, dude, silly. So there, there, there is a divine plan, and this twin flame journey is spectacular and painful and everything all at once. And this pain, that also, that being able to go snap inside of myself, it's like finding this switch. It's like overcoming my emotions, and not only overcoming my emotions, it's also allowing myself, like I said, okay, I'm gonna allow myself to be attracted to people, and then all of a sudden, I can feel in me something waking up, something like, and I'm not saying that I'm gonna be, well, I already talked about this. I'm not gonna be running after anything, but there's like this. Something that was asleep in me, this curiosity or like, what is the word for it when you become like there's a word. It's usually a word that it's like provocative, or it's not really provocative. It's more like you would say about a cat when they're on the pry, or like they're on the, out. Something like that. It like woke up the diva in me somehow, some kind of diva. And so that's powerful. And also there's a shifting within the relationship between me and him because I'm open up on the outside. In the relationship between him and I came up a level. It's like more even. It became more even. Like, okay, so I'm not here under those pretenses. I'm here as a friend, and so now we can joke around about these different things too. We can joke around about more about sexuality and more about endeavors, and I can tell him more personal things about me too. I don't really know if it even came to that, and I don't know how well. See, he says that all of what he says, but I can tell that when I talk about certain things, the certain subjects, that he gets a little bit like, maybe I'll start, playing with him because our relationship is so funny. It's so funny anyway. But I like pushing his buttons. And I know the buttons are when I come on too strong, like when I'm too flirty with him. Like the other day when we went to the hot springs, when was it? It was the day before yesterday. We went to the hot springs in the morning. And when we got there, I don't know, we were laughing in the car. We were just cracking up. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but it got too mushy for him. He said, "Okay, I'm getting out of the car. I'm getting out of the car." I told him, "Oh, he made this tea and he asked me if I wanted some tea, and he blessed the tea, and he has the best blessings. Like, He has the best blessings. And when I took a sip of the tea, it felt like it was hot, and it felt like it was going through my body like in like like waves. It was like going through my body in waves. And I told him, "Oh, it's going through my body in waves." He said, "Okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here." I told him it's like a full body orgasm. So he got out of the car and walked off. When I come on too strong, and there was even a time, I don't remember what I was of, but I was coming on to him, and he gave me a look, and he said, "Come on." Like, cut it out. And he said, you see why I can't be around you? You see? But I think he likes being around me because we have so much fun. I mean, it's got to be fun that somebody gets his humor, because his humor is so like, it's like right under the surface. And if you don't get it, then you get offended, because he says like the harshest things, like where Rexy is. You see the woman up there? This is a friend of mine's property. I'm sitting right at the edge of it, and he does all these carvings, all of these see, all of these stone carvings. There's a place down in Guinosa where they do stone carvings. It's really cool. They go down, and I think they have like once a week a whole bunch of people meet there, and I don't know if they still do it, but they used to. They have like courses. They come there and carve, and do like a Friday morning meeting. It's a really cool idea. They call it the Parliament. See, when you live in the north, it looks like you just live in the boondocks, but there's so much going on all the time. There's like some nights you have to choose. There's so much going on that you could choose a few different options. That's the thing, that the people from the big cities, they think that you come into the up north and there's just all like pastel, easygoing, but you have the easygoing pastel, but you also always have things going on. And another thing that I like about living in the north, that you live in the rural areas, is that you're not afraid to drive. Even people that live in the north travel. It feels to me like they travel a lot more around the country than other people, because even to just go to the supermarket, you have to get in the car and go 10, 15 minutes drive. Or to go into town, it's a half an hour or 20 minutes each way, 20 minutes to half an hour each way. So even in things like that. But we had the best meeting, and I'm such on a high note. And I feel so far let go on this. There's nothing for me to run after. If there's no pressure, like no romantic pressure on the relationship, then there is no pressure on the relationship. The relationship is there. And so regardless, and I'm learning how to trust that relationship is there, because it's just the proof of it in itself. It has been there, and it is continuing to be there. And every time you're afraid you're going to lose it, and then it comes back in. And the other day on Friday when I was there, one of the thing, when we had that big conversation where the switch happened, where he was saying about dating other people and stuff, and letting go of the romantic aspect, and that he feels like I'm his sister, like we're family, and which I also feel. I feel like we're family. I really do. Today I'm going to visit his mother. So when we had that big conversation, what was I going to say about that? Oh, I told him at one point, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And he said, I'll help you. And it was kind of like a little remark. It was like a side remark that I'll help you. And up until now, he's proved to me, in the very beginning when we first met, before I even started doing these videos, I was over at his house, and he was showing me these videos of this comedian, and this comedian had a style that was like drag out, the comedy, drag it so far out that you get uncomfortable in the end. And I took it as this is going to be dragged out. Like there is no quick fix. I got the gist of what he was telling me through the video. And I'll just show you. I'm walking here, and over there, that's the Sea of Galilee down there. So, and look at over on this side. Look at those pretty flowers. They're like these balls, purple balls. They're so pretty. And you see that big mountain over there, the Arbel, it's the cliff one that's poking up over the mountain over there. See, my twin lives on top of that mountain, and I feel like it's his big joke that he came and moved right in on top of that mountain that I see in my view every single day. See that Arbel mountain over there? It's in my everyday view. I go into town, it's there. It's like a constant. And not only is it a constant, it's a mountain that I have I fell in love with that mountain. Right under it is Migdal, the Magdala site. And it's like I've been in love with that mountain forever. And then he comes and moves right in on top of it, like to get right in my view. It's like he does these things, and he does them. It's just like a little bit annoying, just like a little bit. And then you let me get right in your face, but you can't have me right in your face. So it's like a dangling. He dangles himself in my face, in my view. I'm telling you. There's a lot of purpose in that. I know. He does everything on purpose. He's got purpose. But what he was saying, look at these flowers. They're so pretty. So what he was saying about in that first meeting, I told him, I'm tired. I'm tired. I said, I don't know that I can do it. What if I fall? And he said, I'll hold you. He said, I'll hold you. And he has proven that to me in this journey. See, I feel overwhelmed with emotion now. He's proved it to me over and over and over and over and over again. Showed me that I could trust him. And it's just like he said the other day. I told him I don't know how I can do this. And he said, I'll help you. And I feel like I've let go on this. I've kind of like just let go. And the love is still there. The love and the appreciation and the respect that I have towards him. And the aracha, like appreciation, but aracha is like, I genuinely know his worth and like I appreciate it. Regardless if there's going to be a romantic relationship or regardless of that, And he said that he will help me, and I feel like he's kept his word throughout. Regardless if anybody else gets it, regardless if my parents get it, regardless if my mother gets it, regardless if my children get it, regardless of anybody else around, I get him and he gets me. And I still, regardless if anybody else gets it, I get it. I get it. Nobody else can tell me. I know my truth. I can see what he does for me. I can see the power in the relationship. I can see how much I've been rising in this last year. I don't need outside of me, even from my own parents or for acceptance of it. I don't think that, I think that our relationship is so close and he's so far in me and I'm so far in him that nobody else from the outside could even fathom what it is. could even understand the connection that we have between us. I don't think that it's possible, because the depths that it goes and into the detail, like the tiny little, he'll go all the way into, like all the way in, and he'll touch, like tickle me in this like tiny little place that nobody else knows that even exists in my mind or in my emotions. And he'll go in there, it's like going in with like this all the way around everything else, and go tickle, tickle, and just make my whole, he's so funny. And I can't even explain it because it's so far in. You'd have to know, you'd have to know my whole family history, and you would have to know exactly how I was raised and brought up, and the complete mix that that had to have happened to make me, and all of that. And then he gets in there and it's tickle, tickle, and it's so funny. It's so funny. And he sees me, and he gets me, and he appreciates me, and he knows my strengths and my superpowers, and I know his. And I compliment him, and he compliments me. And I mean compliment not only in a way of like giving compliments, but in a way that I get him. So when he's working his magic, I see what the magic is, and I see what he's doing. And I can appreciate it, and I can put it into words that are different than his words. So if he does something, and a lot of times I'll be able to explain in real simplicity exactly what it is that he is doing. And he is powerful. He is powerful. Okay, so I got home. Come on, Nana. I'm gonna go and start this day off, get some stuff done. I'm gonna leave here probably around 11:15. Okay, so have a wonderful day.